It's me again. I hope you're well on this what is a Saturday morning for me here in the UK, and I just wanted to show you a few different ways on how to wrap and construct your books. So I've got my chipboard, greyboard pieces here. Now I'm using 2mm greyboard. I always use 2mm greyboard in my construction. You can use a thinner greyboard, that works really well, but your albums won't be as durable. So that's why I like to use a thicker weight. So using your cardstock, and I don't know why I've got my trimmer out first, I don't need that yet. So getting your cardstock and one of your covers. Now because I'm only using A4, I've only got a limited amount of space to play with. So I'm going to have a border of 3/4 of an inch all the way around my album. So for quickness, same, you can do this as well. I'm only going to draw 2 lines of my measurement. Then using the double-sided tape, let's get this off like so, and I'm just going to use one strip of double-sided tape just down that bottom edge. Okay, so take off the backing, and then I'm just going to use the glue around the corners, around the sides, over the double-sided, and then in the middle. And then what I'll do is, once we've got it down, we'll burnish it to spread that glue out. So just get that right angle of the greyboard into the right angle of that cardstock. Doesn't matter if you're just a little bit out, and push it down. So I'm going to put that to the side and let that dry. And then while that's drying for a little while, I'm going to get the next one ready. So again, we're going to go with 3.5, sorry, it's not 3.5, 3 3/4. I'm not right up that side. And 3/4. Is there. Get your tape. And this is a really good way as well, if you haven't got the construction tape or don't really like doing the construction tape way, then this is another alternative. You can also wrap the full book all together. You can do that. That's another option to do, and that works really well as well. I thought this was just an alternative method. I saw it and thought, oh, I'm sure that's going to be a nice easy way for other people to do it. So I thought I would show you. As I say, this isn't my idea. I got it off a lady. Her website, as I said, is Crafting and Creating with Caroline. So pop over, and she's got some nice videos on there. So again, I'm going to just measure my my 3/4 mark there, and then I'm going to use my trimmer to trim them down like so. That's 1, and then 2. So while we've got this like this, I'm going to use my Teflon tool or bone folder just to help stretch that cardstock underneath by giving a scored line up against that chipboard. That's going to help us when we come to bend the cardstock. So once we've done that, I don't know if you can see on the back just a tiny little bit where I've gone round. So just using your desk and the side of your grey board to create that crease. Okay, going all the way round, and again at the bottom. Also, what you can do is just go along the edges as well. That also helps to just bend and crease that cardstock. It means you'll get a crisper fold. So your edges of your card, your edges of your book are going to look so much more professional. So once you've got that, now there's two ways you can do this. You can cut off this square if you want to, and then miter the corners, or you can use 2 pieces of grey board put together to get your distance between your grey board and your corner. But I've got these little tools that come from I bought these on Etsy. This is from a store called iBooks Binding, and they do these spacers, which are really handy. They do different sizes for different cardstock. So I think they go up to, or they did when I bought them, up to 3.5 mil. But because this is 2 mil, I'm just going to use this 2 mil one. So all you do is butt it up against there. Now you can either use your knife, or I'm just going to run a pencil mark along there and then just cut it off with my scissors, like so. Okay, but before we cut them off, let's put our we can get our double-sided tape on. So I'm just going to put double-sided tape along that edge, and I seem to have got more on this side than I have around the other again. Never mind. Wouldn't be a book that I've made if I didn't have any mistakes in there, would it? So once you've got them down, I'm just going to burnish that down. That helps get that glue warm that's on your double-sided tape, and helps it to get rid of all the air bubbles that may be in there. Okay, so now we need to miter the corners. So where you've drawn your pencil marks, just chop off those. I shouldn't say chop off, that seems, it's a really good technical term, that, isn't it? Chop off. You need to miter those corners, like so. Okay. Right, once we've got them, now I work opposite side to opposite side, so it doesn't matter which side you use. I normally do, well, this is a square, so I would normally do the shorter ones first and then the longer ones. But I'm just going to put my glue down because I want to also get a bit of glue down here, but I didn't want to use just my double-sided tape. So take that one off, and then take this backing off, and then using your bone folder, just ease that cardstock down onto the chipboard or your grey board, and just keep easing until it's actually stuck. Okay, you might get a bit of seepage out, but that's okay. Just remember to wipe it off your tool, otherwise you'll get glue all over your cardstock. So again, do exactly the same with the other side. Okay. There we are, nice and stuck. Okay, now to move on to these sides. Now if you look here, can you see I've got like a little edge here that is sticking out past the grey board. I hope you can see that, sort of there, like so. If I close that over, can you see it creates this like sticky up part here? That's fine, you can have that, you don't need to change that, but I like to have a bit more of a refined edge, refined corner. So very good tip is, all you need to do is push that corner in, so you're folding it over into that corner. so that when I fold this now, so if you can see, get me a piece of paper. So if you can see there, once I fold that over, that sticky up bit's gone. And you see that side there, it's still got that sticky up bit there. And you see, if I turn it over, you can see I've got a nice corner there, but then this bit is a bit sticky up. Hope you can see that. So that's all you need to do, is just push them corners in like so. And then that gets rid of that like that. So push them in, and then you can go ahead now and stick down your next 2 edges. And then put the glue on, and then fold these over like we did before. There we are. Okay, so then that's one of your album covers finished, completed. So you need to go away and do the same on this one. And there's the 2 completed. Like so. We've got 2 the same, and that's brilliant. So now we need to do our spine. Now the spine is going to be a little bit different, because we are going to make it a little bit bigger. So what you need to do, where you've done your some of your edges at 3 1/4, you're going to have to do these at 1 inch on the 2 short sides, and 1 1/2 inches on the 2 long sides. Okay, so I'm just going to do my 2 measurements first of all, and then we can use the trimmer and cut the other ones off in a second. Now I'm just going to use some double-sided tape again, but this time I'm going to put it on both of the 2 opposite short sides. Don't forget to burnish. Take the tape off, and this tape off like so, and then just use your glue along the top of the tape, and then the sides, and then all over. It helps it to stick a lot. So again, put it in that corner of that right angle, and then push your paper, push your cardstock and your chipboard together, and just burnish them down just to sort of spread out that glue. Okay. So then this side here has got to be the 1 1/2, so 1 1/2. And then this one is the 1 inch. I think that's 1 inch there. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to just use my trimmer and trim off those bits there. So we've got back to this. Now, again, go round your edges and just put in a little bit of a score. That's it. It's just going to help us bend that paper. So again, just bend it using the desk and the chipboard as your resist. Come all the way round. Again down the bottom here. Okay, so with this one we're going to ease this over. Okay, like so. That's it. So that we've created our score line at the edges here. Can you see I've got a score line there? So again, do the same here. Bring that round. Like so. And then do this side. Like so. And then the last one. Just the short edge. Okay, so what we've done is we've created like a rectangle in the corners. So those we're going to cut off. So let me just that's better. So you just need to cut where that score line is. Just cut on that score line, just to the corner, and again that side. So you take that corner off, and again down here and down there, like so, and down here and down here, and then we do the same here on this corner and that corner. Take that off. So you've ended up with something that looks like that. So it's like we're making a box, really. You could make a box with this. So we need to then, these are the ones that are going to stick down, but if you can see where we've cut off, you've got a bit that's sticking out. We don't want that. We want to get rid of that. So we're just going to miter those corners. Now you can use your scissors or a craft knife, and all I'm doing is I'm going to just miter. It's not even going to be an awful lot taken off. Can you see how much I've got left there? So once that folds over, you'll end up with a nice straight edge. So we have to go around and do that with all of them. That one's okay. I might do that one. I've actually kind of like got, they're all right, to be fair. I don't really need to miter them an awful lot, but that one's okay. I might just come around here and just do a little bit of that, and there we go, just a little bit off there, so that they're sort of mitered and you've got nice straight edges then. So using your double-sided again, just we're going to stick the two top flaps down. So these ones are going to be stuck down, but you're going to leave these pieces, the longer sides, you're going to leave them not stuck just at the moment. So let's take that off. Let's take that off. I'm going to put a bit of glue in. Just to help with the stick. Fold them over. Now, because I've got a nice, I've been folding and scoring, I've got a nice, quick, straight edge there. And there we go. Okay, burnish that bit down. So that's what you look like you've got at the minute. So bringing in your pieces of your front and back covers, we're going to, first of all, oh, I forgot one step. So for this next step, we need to come on the outside using our tool, our bone folder or your Teflon tool. If you're using black cardstock, Teflon tools are the way to go, because you don't, with a bone folder, if you're using black, it will leave like that shine, and it looks a bit like, you know, when you've tried to iron your black trousers and you haven't put anything underneath and you get that sort of shine of the black fabric. That's what it looks like if you don't use a a Teflon tool. So I'm just using the whole side of my tool and I'm just running it down the side of the grey board, just to create a bit of a ridge. Again, do it on both sides, like so, to create that ridge. Okay. Them I'm not too happy with there. Okay, so bringing in your pieces, this is what's going to butt up to onto those ridges there. But I'm just going to go around and I'm just going to run my tool along the edge there of that, because I want a nice straight edge. There we go. That's better. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this one. I just wanted a nice straight edge. There we go. That's better. So then that can fit on like so. So to do that, I'm going to use some of the double-sided tape, and I'm also going to use some glue. So don't put your double-sided tape right close to that join there, because you don't want it to get stuck on the cover and then not fold over. So there we go. Take that off. I'm just going to take this little bit off the top here, because I've gone over too much. Burnish them down. Take off the double-sided. 1, 2, and I'm just going to run a bit of the glue just over some of it, like so, just to help with it sticking, just to help it stick for future. Now I did that edge, didn't I? So that edge goes along there, so butt it up like so and burnish that down like so. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this one. Now I want to make sure I've got this right. Just burnishing that down. A bit of a pop up of glue there. So there. That I'm going to use this side here. So I'm just running my tool along the edge there, just so that I can get that flat edge. Okay. Might as well do all of them. Okay. So we're going to use that. So double-sided again, down the side, and down that one side. Just need to chop that bit off because I've gone over a little bit. Okay, burnish that down. Take off that backing. And glue. And then butt it up to that edge. Like so. Burnish that down really good. And then when you fold it over, you've got a really nice solid construction of your book, and you would not be able to tell that they are joined separately. to help this stay nice and firm, you need to put on your spine mount. Now with those you need, I'm just going to use the thinner double-sided tape. What I do is put a line down each edge of your join, like so, and down there. I'm also going to put one in the middle, and then put some on your spine mount, and that goes all the way round all 4 sides, like so. Like so. Okay, take off all the backing. Okay, so as long as your top and bottom are as level as you can get it, it doesn't matter if you are not equal either side, just as long as you've got those tops and bottoms level, because that's what we're going to use to put our spines, our hinges on, and then that is what we're going to use to line up our pages. So once you've got them in this place that you want, bunch them down really well. Use your ruler or something long and just pull up to create that nice scored hinge. Okay, do the same on this side. Give it a wiggle, and then that's your book that you've now made, where you've covered it instead of using construction tape, and it's a really good way of doing it. Before I go, I should put the hinges in, shouldn't I? So the hinges I'm going to use are going to be the extendable. No, I'm not going to use the extendable ones because I need to extend that. So somewhere here I did have, there we go, I've just got the hinges that you don't extend, okay, in my album. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch from my join, and 1/2 inch on the other side from my join, and then this is going to sit literally in the center of that. Okay, like so. So I'll do it at the top as well. So 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. There we go, that's better. And then that will sit in between those lines, and then you'll know you've got them centered. So double-sided tape along I'm going to go in the middle and then use the glue on the outside edges. Come on, glue. Like so. Take off the tape. Center it in between them lines, or your 2 little marks, making sure you've got it level top and bottom. There we go, because we don't want to have wonky pages. And then push that down, get your Teflon tool, and there we are. Push them in, and then as we've already put in on this one, we've already put in our center column here. And you can see that's our center column. But this is exactly the same width as this, so we know that that's going to go in the middle. And then this one goes down like that. And I'm going to put some glue on that as well. And then that's going to fit into that, on that column there that we've made with our score lines. Push that down, and then that is your book ready for your pages. So I hope that you found that interesting. I certainly have. I certainly will be trying that in a few more of my books, maybe books that bigger books, maybe even bigger books might be good as well. Yes, so thanks again for watching, and I will come back in a moment and do the construction tape method. See you in a minute. Bye.